Are you hitting the ball terrible sometimes and you feel like your entire downswing is just totally out of whack? Your arms are disconnected from your body, you're coming in steep, you're getting stuck, you're blocking to the right, you're hooking, you're chunking. It's like nothing can go right. Well, I'm going to talk about one very precise thing with the right elbow. If you do this correctly, you're going to be coming down swinging in the slot and making it very easy to hit solid shots. But if your elbow gets out of position, it's almost impossible to get things synced up and to hit good shots. So I'm going to show you the right way and the wrong way to do this. Q is going to read some of the flight scope numbers. Let's go ahead and get started. Now when we're making a downswing, one of the first moves that you want to have happen, really the key to getting in the slot, is feeling like your elbow, your right elbow, tucks in to your right side. Now what that's going to do is it's going to shallow out this club. When you're about halfway in the downswing, you want the angle of this club pointing at the golf ball or just slightly outside the golf ball. That's going to get you in a position to where you can put all your energy directly into the golf ball. If you imagine that my elbow pops out and now my club starts to kick out steeper, now I have to reroute it to be able to get it in line with the golf ball. If I can get it in this slot position, tuck that elbow in, everything's lined up for me just to hammer away at the golf ball. And it just requires a lot less timing. So on this swing, notice how my right elbow is going to tuck at the start of the downswing and how that club shaft is going to get on the golf ball pretty early. All right, hit that one good. Just a little bit of a fade, kind of down the right center. And you can see once that club gets in that slot, I can basically just turn on as much speed, as much power as I want to because my club head is already working toward the golf ball. I don't have to manipulate that. So what were the numbers on that one, Q?
So total distance was 318 yards and the club head speed was 118 miles per hour.
Okay, so pretty good club head speed, and I'll definitely take that distance off the tee. Now, what do we need to feel to make that happen? That's the real key. I think pretty much everybody agrees that that elbow shouldn't pop out. What do we need to feel that's different than the elbow popping out? So when the elbow's popping out, most of the times what I'm seeing is it's a right arm push. So if you imagine I was gonna hit this golf ball, my elbow would pop out like this and I'd be pushing with my right hand down at the golf ball. A lot of times players will have the idea that that's gonna help to be a more powerful position. But when you do that, that kind of kicks this club shaft a little bit steeper. So as you start down, if you find yourself in a position like this where the club shaft is now pointing inside the golf ball, the elbow's popping out, you're probably gonna be somebody that's losing a little bit of angle of lag too. So that's kind of the kiss of death. I really, to be honest, have a tough time doing that because when I put my elbow out in that position, I feel like I can't swing hard at all. I feel like that is going to be so inconsistent with my contact, but I'll give it a shot here to try to get my elbow out in the wrong way. Yeah, so I feel like I may not even be able to hit the golf ball when I do that. I'll lose awareness of the face. It's probably not even as bad as what I felt like it was on screen, but when that elbow comes out, man, it is just almost impossible to hit a good golf shot. So what my club head speed probably went down to nothing on that one, right?
Yeah, club head speed was about 85 miles per hour.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm swinging easy when I'm doing that. I'm trying to swing hard. It's just my body isn't in a position where I can do that. Also, it kind of hurts my wrist a little bit. I feel like when I get in this position, my club shaft gets steeper. Now I have to reroute it, and it's kind of like the club is coming under, and that really hurts kind of the inside of or the bottom of my right wrist there. That's that steep position, and then that club comes under like this later. So if I was steep and I kept going steep, I would just slam the club in the ground. When you get steep and the elbow's out, and then you have to reroute it back in to get in line with the golf ball, I mean, that's just kind of, it's got like a little bit of a shooting pain just making those swings and kind of showing that. So if you're having some wrist pain, that could be one of the feelings. That could be one of the reasons you're having that. Now, when I get this elbow tucked, one thing that you'll notice is when this comes in, you're gonna see a little bit of daylight between my left arm and my right elbow. So there's some space in here that I'm swinging with. So I'm feeling like I'm getting my body in a position where I can now release that club out in front. So it's like if I was gonna pull something, let's imagine I had a heavy weight on the end of this and I'm gonna pull it. I wouldn't pull it like this. This would be me trying to push it forward. I would get my body in this position to where now I can really pull this in that direction. So imagine I had a rope here that I was trying to pull. It was attached to a car. If I'm gonna pull with any kind of force, I'm gonna get in this position where my body's opening up, this elbow's tucked in, and I'm really yanking on this. Another great key to get this feeling is to feel like the inside of your right arm. So there's a little bone that sticks out there. You feel your bone, that's your elbow. To the inside of that, there's a little bone like where your funny bone is. I want to put that funny bone feeling like it's attached to the right side of my right shirt seam. So as I'm opening up with my body, I'm feeling like that gets glued in to my shirt seam, and now I can really get this great positional lag. I can really have that release out in front. So let me go ahead and hit another one here, and I'm going to feel this time that funny bone is attached to my shirt seam, and that should put me in a pretty great spot to make a good swing. There we go, dead straight, just a little bit right center of where I was aiming. Pretty nice swing there. On that one, when my right arm gets in, a big key distinction on this is I don't want to close down my body. I want to keep my body rotating when this happens. Sometimes when players do this, I'll find them trying to keep their belt buckle in front of them so they can get their arm working more in front of their body this way. That would be a bad position to be in. It's never going to happen. Because if I did this, my body slowed down, I would have to flip at some point. I want to feel like it's at the side of my body, it's really tucked in there, and then my body is rotating to help get that club to the ball. So now my hips are opening, my chest is opening, and that's getting this club delivered to the golf ball. So getting there on that one, Q, it was a pretty good swing speed on that one?
Yeah, so 118 club head speed, and the total distance was over 300.
Okay, so on the bad swing, got that elbow out, lost control of the club face. On the two good swings, I had a couple things that I felt. Number one, I got that elbow tucked early in the downswing. Number two, I got my funny bone attached to my right side of my body, and I kept on rotating through the shot. If I can do both of those things, it's going to put me in a position where I really feel powerful. Again, if I was going to pull that rope, I can really pull it with a lot of force, and I'm going to be able to hit some great golf shots. All right, hit that one really good. Now, there's one piece to this that kind of ties it all in together. If you've tried to get in the slot, you've tried to get that elbow in, and when you do that, you hit the ball a mile to the right, it's because the face is open. So as I get this club shallowed out, my face is in a more open position, and if I keep that face open, you can see how this would block way to the right. So if you've tried to do this before, and it hasn't worked out very well for you, you've hit blocks, you've hit slices, it has to do with the specific way that you're squaring up the face with your hands. Now I'm going to play a video here in a second, a preview of a video, and I'm going to talk about exactly how you square up those hands to make sure that you can hit those powerful draws when you do get your elbow in and you get the club in the slot. All you need to do is go ahead and click the card that pops up on the screen or the link down below in the description. You'll get instant access to that video. I'll go over my tennis racket drill, talking about how to pair that up with what we did with the elbow in this video. You get the elbow and the tennis racket drill together, it's going to be perfectly on plane. It's going to be perfectly hit, really well compressed. I can't wait to share that video with you. Click the card or the link down below. Let's go and get started. Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time,